Hi everyone, it's Liz here from Gather No Moss, and today I would like to take you into the next video on the olives. The first video, which is above me here, is the basics of once we picked the olives and what we had to do and decide whether we were going to prick or pit them. And then Colin ran through the process that we need to do over a number of weeks. Now it's time to jar, put all the olives, separate them off, put them into jars and pickle them. Luckily for us, Chris, my brother's out. He thinks he's Keith Floyd actually, so he has to have a drink with every job that he does, but he's helped us with this job and we've had quite a good laugh really. So excuse the laughs and some of the daft remarks and things, but I hope you enjoy this. I hope it entertains you, and more importantly, I hope it shows you the next process that's needed once you're trying to put your olives in the jars. So listen along. So it's a lovely day here in southern Spain, and we are at the time now ready for our part 2 of our olive jarring. So I'll pass you on to Colin.
Hello. You've possibly seen my first video of this. I think it was entitled Prick or Pit, where I went through pitting the olives and getting them into the tubs of brine water. I haven't done any more about changing the brine and the salt. That's all it is. Getting rid of the water, fresh salt over a period of weeks. There's plenty of information.
How often have you done that, did you say?
To start with, for the first week it was every day, then it was every few days in the second and third weeks, and eventually I've got round to once a week for the last couple of months. Okay, it's a little bit of trial and error depending on how ripe your olives were to start with, but you'll get the hang of it and just have a little taste of one. Yeah, they'll still feel a little bit briny and bitter. They won't taste like olives do come in a jar because we haven't done the jarring bit. Okay, so the jars. To prepare the jars, I've sterilised them in boiled water. Clean them, washed them out first, and then sterilised in boiled water. And now they're ready to go. And this is what we'll be filling.
Have you just estimated how many jars we need? Or?
Yes, at this point I've got a rough idea. I think we'll probably use all 4. We want to get the olives in there fairly tightly packed. You know, we don't want any room for moving about in the brine. So 4 maximum, I reckon. But if we do 3, great. If we need another one, we'll go get it. So no pressure there.
Okay.
Today, for the jarring process, I'm joined by my brother-in-law, Chris, who's out with us. He's got a very important job right now, which we'll just show you.
There's Chris. So who is it he thinks he is at the minute? What's his name, that chef?
Keith Floyd.
Keith Floyd. So this is our Keith Floyd, Chris.
Hi everyone.
And he's just pouring a little glass of wine to help us along with our jarring process. Just a little for me as I'm tutoring later. Thank you.
Plug there. Cheers.
So cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, so first thing we want to do is prepare our brined hot water. So out the kettle, off the boil. So I've got 50 grams of salt here. General rule is 50 grams of salt to a litre of water. That's the kind of weak brine solution you sort of want in there. In goes the salt. Up to the top for a litre, I think it'll be, Chris.
In pints, is that right? 2.5.
Well done, Chris.
Yeah.
There we go. Just give it a light stir with that, mate.
And what are you doing then?
Okay, what we're going to do next, I'm going to start off with, I call that a medium to large jar. You can see in our little tub that we've got different shades of colours, greens and the blacker ones. I've took these off in time, as people say, reasonably early though. And what I'm going to do now, using my slotted spoon, is pick out the darker olives, shake off the excess water. I've actually pre-rinsed these a couple of times and start to fill the jar.
And then you put in the green ones in a different jar,
I'll do that. Yeah, I think aesthetically and B, they'll have ripened at different stages and have a different flavour. So I will pick out ones that I consider to be a little greener, and the black ones will go in. Now you want to try and fill your jar fairly well, yeah. This is not an essential thing to do that I'm doing, it's just something I like to do for the looks of it. And there's a sneaky stone that's found its way in there, which we'll get rid of.
So these are all pitted, aren't they? Now this was the word that we were
So
from the last video, yeah.
Yeah, it's that last video. First thing you want to do is pit them. Again, there's plenty of people who don't pit them and keep them with stones in. Not a problem. Just takes a little bit longer to get the chemical, which I never remember the name of, out.
Okay.
So we can call on Chris again. So that's a pretty full jar. You'll see there. Before doing that, I like the black olives I found with experience. With a little bit of this is cayenne piri. It's basically
Hang on.
chili peppers dried.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So we're going to put a bit of that in.
So you're putting chilli in with the black ones.
Season to taste, as they say.
We like
I
them
am.
hot.
And I've also got a little bit of garlic. So classic garlic. Just a light flatten. Push them down into the inside.
How many garlics are you going to put
I'm going
into
to
that?
put in the size of this jar. I'm just going to put a couple of medium to large size garlic.
And you're peeling those before you stick them
I
in,
am.
aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I'll just give that a little bit of light flatten the oils up. Shove them in the other side. Okay, Chris, do you want to do the pouring, mate?
He's already doing the pouring.
Chris is pouring the wine
Which I'll make that
into
right,
there.
okay, right, yeah.
So you want it just to cover the last olive, really, and then we'll.
No herbs in this one then.
No.
You're not doing a very good job of the pouring,
That's it,
Chris.
But just a tad more, mate. I'll explain why.
Just scrape that
Don't
down.
worry about that. That's fine. Okay, so last year I did this. I did a couple of olives, the darker ones with chilli and garlic, which turned out really tasty. I did one with lemon and thyme. Now it's all about people's taste, I understand, but to my mind, they tasted a little bit soapy. I didn't get the mix right, so I'm going to do something different with the greener olives, which I'll take you through in a second. Okay, so the water's in, the boiled water's in, the boiled brined water is in, and now what I'm going to do is just top off with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Extra virgin. Nice and gently. The reason we're doing this, partly for flavouring when it comes out, but also to form another airtight seal on top of the water. So nice and gentle. And you want to sort of take that up to pretty near the top of the thing. Okay,
Yeah.
looks a nice colour too.
Do you let that cool or do you just close that off straight off?
Straight in, it'll cool by itself. Okay, this is an old chickpea jar. And there we have it.
Right, so Colin's now shown us how to get all the olives into the jars, and it's all looking good. So over to you, Colin. How long now before I can actually eat these absolutely amazing olives?
Well, everybody will tell you, Chris, standard 2 weeks while they're in the jars. They will continue to sit in the brine, pick up flavour from the ingredients we've put in. Just to remind you, a mix of garlic, chilli flakes, mixed herbs, and in one of them a little white wine vinegar as well.
That's absolutely.
So 2 weeks, Chris.
Well, I'm not going to be around for that, unfortunately, but I'm sure you'll let us know how they all tasted. But how did you get to that stage before? Because I only arrived when you were just doing this process. So
well, good question, Chris. So if you look at one of our earlier videos, prick or pit, you will find what I've done, as the name might suggest. about pitting the olives and getting them into the first lot of brine in the little tub that we've taken with the one tree. So not so many olives, one tub will generally cover it.
I guess
have a look at that.
I guess that's the most important really out of all of it. But we've been having a delicious taste of wine today, and can you let us know how you've got such an exquisite taste of wine nowadays?
Well, I wouldn't call it that, but I do like a glass of wine, as indeed I think you might do yourself. But we've been on a wine tasting trip, the three of us recently, up to a place called Humia in the north of Mercia, one of the wine producing areas over here, and that was really interesting and tasty. If I have to be honest, it was lovely as well. I think that's what you referred to, Chris.
Yeah, totally believe so. Thank you very much for an amazing afternoon, well, morning, afternoon of olive making. Cheers.
Cheers.